I'm going to practice the 3 B's of public speaking. Be clear, be brief, be seated. Denis, I'm running for the State Assembly in the 72nd District, which is currently occupied by Adriano Espaillat, Inwood, Marble Heights, Marble Hill, and Washington Heights. By way of background, my mother came here at the age of 16 from Puerto Rico, and she worked really hard. She was a seamstress in La Correa, making belts for $12 a week when she arrived here in 1944. She worked really hard. She was a single mother, and she was able to make things possible for me. I graduated with a degree in government from Harvard University, and then I graduated from Yale Law School, and I worked as a lawyer in the firm of Donovan, Leisure, Newton and Irvine for a few years. After that, I became the editorial director of El Diario La Prensa, El Diario, and I wrote about 300 editorials at that time, and won a few prizes for the newspaper, which I was really proud of. Also, most significantly, I served in the New York State Assembly. I ran against a regime called the Del Toros, Angelo and Bill Del Toro, en el barrio, and I was elected in 1996 and served for 4 years, and I was defeated by the very well-known Adam Clayton Powell. I am running here where I was born and raised in Washington Heights. For 41 years I've lived here. I was born in the hospital, went to school in St. Rose of Lima before going away. And since the time is short, I'll just, and this is an adjacent district, I'll just share just a few quick issues that cut across our boundaries that are shared concerns. One thing that we need to do in terms of savings, 40% of our state budget, over $50 billion a year, is spent on Medicaid. I would vote for a Medicaid Inspector General immediately. The New York Times has found that we have roughly $15 to $20 billion a year of fraud in Medicaid spending. That's the way we can effectuate some savings. There's something called a message of necessity in Albany. During my 4 years there, I experienced 25% of our legislation has a message of necessity attached. As of 1891, that was when there was earthquakes and natural disaster, the governor would push through a bill because something had to happen quickly. We're not in that era anymore. It's used now by lobbyists to shove through added cost spending provisions. Unions are very often a part of this, and we get very often over 25% of our state budget is effectuated through messages of necessity, and the legislators don't have time to read the bills. You're voting for a bill that you never read, and you don't know how much money is attached. I will eliminate the messages of necessity. We can instate something called a Morehouse Commission. It's constitutionally mandated. The governor has the opportunity, the privilege of appointing an inspector with subpoena powers that can call any public official to task for any measure of public corruption. Right now, we have ethics laws that have no teeth, but a Morehouse Commission could effectuate what the Attorney General has been doing. He can do it now when he becomes governor by appointing that commission. There are public authorities like Con Ed, utilities. They issue long-term tax-free municipal bond debt that becomes a hidden cost in our budget, and it becomes billions of dollars in interest payments to that, and it doesn't hit your budget in that year. It's a sneaky tax because the public authorities fund themselves with this municipal tax, these tax-free bonds. We need to rein in that spending. Finally, I use in East Harlem the Community Reinvestment Act to get the banks to double their bank lending in my community for small business development and home mortgage improvement. I would do that in the 72nd in Washington Heights. I would work very hard to clean up some of the corruption that I've been seeing, and I hope to work with you in Albany. Thank you. Okay.